So, what are five powerful examples of empathy in action? Empathy isn't just about feeling sorry for somebody. It's absolutely not that. It's about truly understanding and sharing their emotions. So, today we're going to explore five powerful examples of empathy in action that can help us become more compassionate in our everyday lives and in our professional lives. Well, let's jump in. So, example number one, active listening. Now, when I was first introduced to active listening, it was that you were just parroting back to the person. That's not really it. A coworker is venting about a tough day. Now, instead of offering solutions right away, let's just listen. Like, really, don't fix. They're not looking for solutions. If they ask for solutions, that's a different thing. But we can show verbal and nonverbal cues like nodding, eye contacting. We can paraphrase what they're saying. So you might say something like, that sounds really frustrating. I can see why you might feel that way. Now, active listening makes people feel heard and valued, and it strengthens relationships in the workplace and in our professional lives. And how can you go wrong with that? Walking in someone else's shoes. I love this idea, in their shoes. So a customer service rep, this is another example. A customer service rep is dealing with an angry customer. Now, instead of reacting defensively, the rep imagines the customer's frustration. So their response might be, I understand that this situation is really frustrating. Let's work together to find a solution. Showing patience and understanding can turn a negative situation into a positive one. It can result in that angry customer, that upset person on the other side of the counter feel like they were heard. They might not have the solution, but at least they feel like they were heard. So when we take a moment to step in someone else's shoes, we foster a stronger human connection. That's really what it's all about. Example three, small acts of kindness or empathy or support or encouragement. You don't want us to just think about empathy as kindness. And it is that, but it's so many more things. Like I say, it's encouragement, it's support, it's tell me about this. It's how can we work together to figure this out? So here's a scene. A busy barista at a coffee shop. A customer notices and leaves a generous tip with a kind note. Now I've done the tip thing and I've actually talked to people and said, hey, it looks like you're really having a busy day. I hope everything goes well for the rest of your day. So empathy doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It can be something small and thoughtful, like leaving a kind note or checking in on a friend or offering assistance to a stranger. I had that happen with my daughter. I was trying to put air in her flat tire. She had her two small kids in the car. And there was a man there who had a truck that was fully equipped with everything. He goes, I think that pump is frozen. Let me take the air hose off my truck and I'll pump up the tire for you. I can't tell you how grateful we were because it was like 10 degrees out. And he came over and he pumped up the tire. Go, hey, can you offer you something? He goes, no. He said, I saw the mom with two small kids. I'm happy to help. So that was a small gesture, but to us it was huge. And it really impacted our day. Example number four, supporting someone in grief. A friend comforting another who just lost a loved one. Sometimes we don't know what to say, so we don't say anything. And that's wrong. So sometimes you just go with, I'm sorry for your loss. It's a place to start. But we don't want to say things like, they're in a better place. Oh my gosh, don't say that. Or at least they lived a long life. That doesn't show any understanding or compassion or any presence to what they're going through. Instead, say, I'm here for you. I can't imagine how hard this is. Or tell me something about your loved one. Tell me about your dad. Tell me about your mom. Tell me about your friend. That's so much better than not saying anything at all. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just be present. And sometimes just sitting in silence with someone is enough. In fact, silence is one of the greatest gifts we can give to people sometimes. Now, empathy means being there for others without trying to fix their pain. By please, please, please don't fix their pain. That's not what they're looking for. They're looking for someone to be present, to be supportive, encouraging, and just be there. Example number five, standing up for others. A student notices another student being bullied. This is our scene. He steps in calmly to support that other person. So redirecting the situation, maybe redirecting the person who's being bullied, offer to walk with that person, step in between, get an authority figure. You don't have to confront the bully. No, that's not a good idea. Offer to be present with the person who is the object, the subject, the person who's being attacked, and walk away and support them. So empathy fuels action. When we see someone struggling, we can be their ally. I had to do that one time. I was working at Great America many, many, many years ago, and there was one guy on our team. We were a colonial drill team, if you can imagine that. And one guy on our team had said something to somebody else, and these two big guys were going to corner him in the bathroom and teach him a lesson. And three of us stepped in and said, "Not happening." And it was a show of support. It was a show of strength in numbers, but we were there for that person because he didn't deserve that. And we weren't going to let it happen. Did he appreciate that? Yeah, I think so. I think so. So empathy isn't passive. Sometimes it means standing up for what's right, and that can be hard. So here's the really great thing about empathy. It is a skill we can all practice. Some people are natural at it. Some people have this really high EQ, this emotional intelligence, and they just go to empathy easily. But it doesn't mean that they don't work, and it doesn't mean they're not intentional about it. They do it in a way that's supportive. They do it in a way that's natural, but it can be learned. It can be practiced. So let's just review the 5 really powerful empathy practices. Active listening, walking in someone's shoes, small acts of kindness or empathy or encouragement or support, supporting someone in grief, and standing up for others. That shows how powerful it can be in everyday life. And so tell me, leave a comment, look for the next video as well. What's one way you've shown or received empathy recently? So I'm John Nepper. We're going to be talking about empathy in action. We're going to be talking about ways to show empathy, ways to learn empathy, ways to improve your professional and your personal relationships by showing empathy in 5 powerful ways.